Yeah, these are my working tools and materials. A pair of white twine, my scissors, my lighter, my crochet hook size 1, then my ring and my pressing pin, and my already prepared sew. You can see I've already done part of the shoe, but I will explain what I did here. So if you watch very carefully, you can see I have 2 foundations here. I made 3 rows of single crochet on the inner foundation, then make another 3 rows of single crochet on the upper one. That's it. So I have total of 6 rows of single crochet here. Then after that, you divide your sole into 2 equal parts. Just place something on the center to get the center of the stitches. Then you pick out 10 stitches from the tip. 10 stitches from the tip. You can see it. So we start. So before we start, you divide the stitch into 2 equal parts. So I'll be using half stitch, not full stitch. Let me show you. This is the full stitch, but I'll be crocheting from here, half stitch. Yarn over, make 1 chain. Then on the next stitch, also crochet on half stitch. Half stitch, next stitch, half stitch. So crochet to this point. There you can see it. I will still make use of the remaining half stitch here. So after working on a 10th stitch, then on the 11th stitch, you crochet on full stitch. You make single crochet on the 11th stitch, then you turn. So once you turn, you skip the 11th stitch, then crochet on the remaining stitches, single crochet. So now we are crocheting on full stitch. Yeah, you can see I have 9 stitches here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, because you won't crochet on the first chain we made. Then you crochet on the sew stitch, the first and the second stitch of the sew. So you crochet on full stitch, 1, next stitch, 2, then you turn. So once you turn, you skip the first stitch, crochet on the next, single crochet. Yeah, at the end, you crochet on the first and second stitch of the sew. Next stitch. Then after that, you turn. So once you turn, you skip the first stitch, crochet on the next stitch. So you continue working with that. At the end here, after working on the last stitch here, you single crochet on the first 2 stitches on the sew. You turn, skip the first stitch. So continue working till you work more 7 rows of single crochet. We've done 3 rows here, so you work more 7 rows of single crochet. Yeah, that's it. That is after working 10 rows. So there is something I forgot to explain. I made this foundation. So I have about ½ inch on this side. Then on this curve, I have about ½ inch here, ½ inch here, ½ inch. The same thing here, ½ inch on on the curve, the two curve, two end, quarter inch, then half inch on both sides. Then on this half inch I made 4 stitches. Then on this quarter inch I made 3 stitches on this curve, the two side I made 3 stitches. Then on the both sides I made 4 stitches. So at the end of 10th row, you single crochet on the first stitch of the sole. You work on full stitch. So to start 11th row, so here we are going to crochet on half stitch. Crochet from the inner stitch, not the full stitch but half stitch. You cut the stitch into 2. Let me check. That's it. Then you crochet. Then here we are going to place our stitch mark here. So you place it on the remaining half stitch here. That's it. Then you turn. So you skip the first stitch, crochet on the next. So we are working on 11th stitch now. Yeah, at the end of 11th row, you crochet on the first 2 stitches of the sole. But remember, we are crocheting on half stitch. That's it. So you place your stitch mark. Then crochet on the next half stitch. Return. So once you turn, you skip the first stitch, crochet on the next. So you continue working. At the end here, you single crochet on the first 2 stitches of the sole. Remember, half stitch. So you continue working till you work more 3 rows. More 3 rows. Yeah, that's it. So at the end of 14th row, you crochet on the first 2 stitches of the sole. Remember, half stitch. So to start your 15th row, we are going to we will skip the first 2 stitches. So after skipping the first 2 stitches, on the next stitch you single crochet. So we are now working on the 15th row. Yeah, so to crochet on the last stitch of the 15th row, you don't complete the stitch. Then on this first stitch of the sole, crochet on half stitch. That's it. Then you complete the stitches. So you're done. So once you're done, you crochet starting from the first stitch. Next stitch, continue working. Yeah, at the end of 16th row, you don't crochet on the sole stitch. So at the end, you turn. You see, I didn't crochet on the sole stitch. Then you start work, continue working. Yeah, at the end, you turn. So once you turn, you continue working. So you work more 14 rows. More 14 rows. Yeah, you can see it. So to start the 32 rows, on the first stitch, don't complete the single crochet. Then on the second stitch, yarn over, then you complete the single crochet, then continue working. Crochet to this point. Here at the end, you can see it's remaining 2 stitches. Then on second to the last stitch, yarn over, don't complete the single crochet. Then on the last stitch, then you complete the single crochet and turn. So once you turn, you repeat the same thing. Yarn over, hook up. On next stitch, you don't complete, then you finish up. At the end, you repeat the same thing. On the last stitch, then you finish up. So here we are done with this design. Yeah, that's it. So we start working on the side design, the round design. You make one chain, then on the same stitch you single crochet. Then on the next stitch, remember we are completing the half stitch, single crochet. Next stitch, a single crochet. So you continue working, that's it. So you continue working till you go round the sew to this point. Yeah, you can see it. So you continue working, you done. So you continue working till you work more 3 rows. More 3 rows. Yeah, here is it. That's it. So we start the side design. So we're starting from here. You count out 2 stitches from the beginning, 1, 2, then start from the next stitch here. So you make one chain, you chain 1, then you work single crochet on the next 14 stitches. Single crochet on the next 14 stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Then on the next stitch you slip knit, then you cut it up. Yeah, on the next row, so you turn. So this is where we worked on. That's it. So on the next row, you count out the slip knit you made, then count out the next 2 stitches, the slip knit 1, 2, then start crocheting from the next. So you make 1 chain on the next, single crochet on 8 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then on the next stitch you slip knit. So you can see still remaining 1, 2, then the slip knit. So here you cut it off. You can see we have 2 steps now, the first step and the second step. So you work another step, you leave the slip, leave the next stitch, then crochet on the next stitch. You chain 1, then on the next stitch you single crochet on 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then on the next stitch you slip. Sorry. So you can see it's remaining 1 stitch and the slip knit here. So you cut it up. Yeah, you can see it's now 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. So you repeat exactly what we did here, this other side. Yeah, you can see the 2 sides. So I'm done. Yeah, so we also make some stairs at the back. So you count out 2 stitches starting from here. These other steps ended here, so we start from here, count out 2 stitches, 1, 2, then you start from here. You make 1 chain, then you single crochet on 21 stitches, 21 stitches. Then on the next stitch you slip knit. Then cut it up. Yeah, sorry for that huge noise. So I will start. I've done the first step, so to start the second step, you count out starting from the slip knit. You count out the slip knit, count out another 2 stitches, 1 2 3, then start on the next stitch. So you make 1 chain, work single crochets on the next 15 stitches, next 15 stitches. Then you slip on the next stitch and cut it off. Yeah, to start the 3rd step, you count out the slip, then count out the more 2 stitches, 1 2. From here, 1 2 3. You make 1 chain, then you work single crochet on the next 9 stitches, on the next 9 stitches. Yeah, you can see it. So we start working single crochet round the sew like this to this point. You single crochet all through. So you continue working. At the end here, you turn, you will make 4 rows of single crochet. Yeah, here is it. That's it. So the next thing now is to work the back design. This. So we start, we make a knot, then work 7 chains. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Oh, sorry. And 7. Then skip 1 single crochet. So here you work 6 rows of single crochet. At the end, you make 1 chain and turn. You work 6 rows of single crochet. Yeah, after working 6 rows, that's it. Then you fold. So once you fold, crochet from this stitch. That's it. Then you grab this, then pull up. You make 1 chain. Then on the same stitch, single crochet. Next stitch, single crochet together with this second one. So at the end, you make 1 chain, turn, you work 13 rows of single crochet. 13 rows. Yeah, this is what you have at the end. That's it. So we're going to fix it. Just trace the center of this heel and you place it here. Then you stitch it. Yeah, you can see it. So the next thing now is to work this belt, these 2 belts. So we first work on the ring. You make a knot, then you crochet like this, then make 1 chain, then work 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Yeah, at the end you make one chain and turn. So you work more three rows, more 3 rows. Yeah, here is it. That's it. So we fix here, starting from the edge here. You place it here, then stitch it round. Then the second one, you have to give about, you count out 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, then you fix the second one here. Yeah, here is it. That's it. So now we work the belt. Yeah, here are my 2 belts. This short one is for the front belt, then this long one is for the back belt. So I started with 7 chains for both of them, then work this long one. I work 48 rows, but this one I work 32 rows of single crochet. So the next thing, yeah, after that you fix your pressing pin. You can see it. So this other one will be fixed here, but before I fix this one, I will first of all fix my belt here. You are here, you count out 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, then you fix it here. So I'll be using my needle. So this, you fix it through these holes. Yeah, that's it. So the next thing now is to stitch this one here, then you also stitch this here. Just stitch it round. So the same thing with this one, stitch it round. Yeah, that's it. So you buckle it. Yeah, that's it.